All right, guys, Jeff here, just going to be making a couple of large butcher block style cutting boards for our catering operation. So a little bigger than what you would see at your house, but this would be for like carving prime rib stations and stuff like that. And these are actually really spendy, and I'm going to get 2 out of this. I could possibly get 3, but I do want them to be sizable. As you can see, this is 1.5 inches thick. It's finger jointed. Real wood. This is going to be perfect for what we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of give you an idea of how we're going to do this. First thing is you're going to put some marks on the board of where you actually want to cut it, and then depending on what saw you are using, you can measure this distance from here to the outside of your guide, so you know how far actually to make your little fence here. And I've just clamped on a 4-foot level. It's going to be a good solid straight edge, and I've got my mark there 1.5 inches further than this, which means as I run this along there, I'm going to get the perfect distance I need, but also to be able to hold that saw perfectly square and get a nice clean cut, the whole 25-inch length of that. And so I'll go ahead and cut that, but a couple things to note. Try to use clamps that can stay out of the way. Any little bit of this is going to impede your progress. The second thing is, if possible, use something to cut on. In this case, you could be doing a sawhorse or whatnot to hold it, but then you want to have something that is going to hold both pieces, so there's not a lot of flopping around once you get to the end. So you kind of want to center your support. I know this is going to wind up being 20 inches, so I have that balance there over at the 10-inch mark, and then it's going to leave me about 28, and I've got that balanced here. So anyway, that should avoid some pinching and things like that with the saw. It's going to allow it to flow smooth like that. So we'll go ahead and make that cut and come back to it here in a second. All right, guys, so went ahead and cut that. As you can see, even when you clamp it, you do everything right, you still get a little bit of rough edge here, which we'll fix that with the combination of putting a little round on this edge, the router bit, and then also, of course, final sanding. But obviously clamping it, cutting straight is the most important part. I wound up with 2 identical pieces, as you can see, and we're going to go ahead and get our router table set up here, cut that little plunge into the board to give us that groove that's going to catch all of that deliciousness out of your prime rib. So that's going to go along this whole edge here, and we'll get started on that in just a second. All right, guys, so I kind of skipped a couple of steps. I apologize for that, but I'll kind of catch you up. So anyway, ended up lightly sanding this, and then I did cover this in just one coat of this Watco. So this is specifically for butcher block. This is an oil and a stain all in one, and this is great because what I'm using this for is to cut brisket and prime rib and whatnot. And as you can see right there, that's what we're looking for, is that safe for that. So we've got a good product here. This one did have a little bit of a stain, and as you can see, consider that to be a, I think they consider that, they call that to be a hazelnut stain, and it just literally wipes on. I did have a little product here drip out. I'm trying to see where this was leaking from, maybe up here. But anyway, so this was the product that I used on that. One coat, you can leave it on for a little longer absorption, or you can wipe it off. But really what you want is just kind of a light oily feel to it, so none of the food that you put on here is going to stain it. And then of course you certainly don't want any of what's on here to come back onto your food. So the lighter the better in this. You can always sand and reapply later. One of the reasons why I did not, you can see some of the marks in here, this is going to be a cutting board, and I plan on using heavy-duty knives on it. Did not care to get a super fine finish on it, because you're going to be doing that over the years doing that. So all in all, if you're looking to do or create your own, these are what I'm going to consider industrial size, commercial size, butcher block style cutting boards. You can see this one is a 25-inch wide by 20-inch high deal, and it is a really, no joke, 1.5 thick finger jointed solid wood. One of the other things I did do, I added these little cabinet bumpers on the bottom, just so it won't slide. When you get that on a surface like this granite countertop, you can't hardly push it because it's got those little rubberized feet on them, but they're also rubberized, so they'll be safe for cleanup. Obviously, you don't run butcher block through dishwasher, so it's all hand clean, mild soaps and whatnot on them, and then just make sure they stay dry. And anytime you feel like you need to, you can reapply a little bit of an oil to keep that from cracking and warping and staining. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this project. This is a real simple one. Each one of these boards would have cost you $100+ to buy. My total cost on this with material and everything puts them at about 50, actually no, let's make that $65 per board. But to me, it wasn't necessarily the savings in as much as getting something exactly what I was looking for, size-wise, color-wise, and then to have two of them matching. Maybe I'll show you the video tomorrow of these in use, cutting some really nice looking prime rib. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like the content, please make sure you hit the button down below to subscribe. By all means, feel free to like and share with other folks, but we'll catch you next time on The Lowdown.